What's up with it, guys? Hey, this is gonna be another battleground video here. Now I wanted to kind of go through as far as I talked about and put a video out on kind of like what my anticipations are on some Azurite traits regarding the changes coming in 8.1, but I wanted to go ahead and actually kind of play some of those changes despite not having those new talents and kind of just seeing how they perform currently, because we can kind of infer what damage increases and things like that are going to be. So I'm running Streamline and Double Tap, which if you ever have watched any of my other stuff, I very rarely run. I think in actual real gameplay, like when 8.1 goes live, I'm going to be running the updated lethal shots. That's going to give us a chance of reducing the cooldown of rapid fire. But for the time being, for sake of this, I'm going to go ahead and run Double Tap. Now, one thing I did wanted to point out as well is I did get a 370 chest piece that does have the battlefield focus trait. Now, this trait is not super common, right? It's only on some of the PvP gear. And so I'm sure some people have some misunderstandings of it or not really totally understanding the value of it in a lot of situations. But it is very, very good, especially in PvP. But it's very good in general, especially as far as its synergy with abilities like rapid fire. So what ends up happening is you put a debuff on a target that they have stacks. You end up consuming those stacks with each ability that hits them. Something like rapid fire, even though it's only one cast coming from you, ends up counting as a bunch of individual hits. So it ends up doing a ton of damage in a very short window of time. So we cleaved here. I'm going to go ahead and double tap rapid fire. Whew, that was a good chunk of damage there. All these people are out of range though. Trying to like not get too pushed up. So I'm going to go ahead and multi-shot here. I'm going to drop true shot and just multi-shot into aim shot. Just kind of cleave. We'll go back into our rapid fire here. I'm going to go on this rogue actually. Now, steady aim, even in builds or setups like what I have here currently, where I'm not prioritizing the lethal shot steady focus thing, steady aim is still actually going to be a very decent trait, because there are still times like rapid fire is on cooldown, and you end up just don't really have any other alternatives as far as what to cast. Let's see, maybe we can knock this TK off. Got him. Ha, so gratifying, man. So traits like steady aim, even if you're playing a not steady aim quote unquote build, is still going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and just cleave into these guys. Need to disengage back. They're pushing up. I'm going to go ahead and just try and focus down their healer here. That was a good amount of damage. And I have not noticed, actually, I don't have anything easily tracking that battlefield focus trait. So I'm not sure if it's proccing. I mean, I'm sure, oh, I can see it right there on that guy, but it's kind of hard to see the way my buffs are. I don't have them set up very big. Another thing that's worth pointing out too is that in this situation specifically, I ended up swapping a couple pieces of gear that are higher item level, but they do have crit and things like that on them. And now since I'm not running lethal shots, right, where you already have this guaranteed crit, those items actually end up gaining value compared to how they are when we're running that lethal shots build. I guess we'll try and kill this guy. I'm going to go ahead and do an aim shot into a double tap. I'm going to kick that. We should burn him here. Nice. Solid. So much damage. So that, I believe I did have the battlefield focus thing proc there as well. So what ends up happening is you get this debuff, and since rapid fire shoots so quickly, it ends up just doing a ton of damage. And so like you can see there, I didn't get my page up quick enough, but I have the trait on my helm, the Blightborn Infusion, which is giving me crit, passively, chance to proc crit, ends up being about 15% crit chance. It's a 385 helm grade, so if you have a lower item level with the same trait, it's going to be lower, but that's pretty significant. So you could see one of those, I had like a aim shot cleave that I did, and like most all of them crit, and that's why, is because that was procced at that time. I did see it up in the top left. I'm still kind of in that steady aim habit. So I kind of mess up a decent amount. But we're going to go ahead and see. A lot of times that battlefield focus trait will proc off of just steady aim itself because of how many individual attacks are triggering. So the percent, chance to proc, it procs pretty consistently off of that. How are we doing on the map? Doing pretty decent. Push up here and keep team fighting. Gonna go on this DK. He's gonna go on me, and we're gonna knock him off. See ya. Bye, guy. Try and get on me. Get out of here. So there definitely are times like that. It definitely, at least for me and in my personal experience, it took me a good while of getting familiar with marksman to be able to start looking for those opportunities with bursting shot. It's such a difficult ability and like temperamental as far as, the consistency of like being able to hit people and how far it knocks them back and stuff. I just always feel like it's, let's see if we, oh no. We can stay on him. We can stay on him. Into our double tap, into rapid fire here should drop him. I mean, I really like rapid fire as an ability, man. It's like something about it is just so fun to be able to cast. It's definitely the downside of being able to get stunned or interrupted. Oh, we're going to lose that. Oh, we need to push something else. Let's try and go DR. It's just a really enjoyable build to use. I mean, ability to use. So I'm hoping with the changes that they're making where you can disengage and like people can't LOS you during it, things like that should hopefully bring back more of the PvP aspect of that, because it definitely can be weaker right now. Like if that Demon Hunter was to like imprison me right there, it would just negate all of that damage. I'm going to go ahead and knock him back. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with another slow there just so that it's a little bit longer duration. Nice, we got a lock and load proc. But the thing I also really like about not having to play this steady aim setup that we do now is that, ooh, let's try and actually, let's focus here for a second, see if we can get some kills. Oh no, he net me, so I missed virtually all of those. Bad of me too, I could have, so if that was in 8.1, what I could have done is I could have actually disengaged. It would not have canceled. It would not have canceled my channel of rapid fire, but it would have broken the net, which would have then negated that entire CC that he had on me there. But again, like I'm so not familiar with using rapid fire. I just so don't run it right now currently because it's just not nearly as strong as. I'm going to slow this guy. I'm going to see if he'll kite up to me over here. Oh no, let's try and kill this hunter. Knock this guy really far. He's probably going to stormbolt me to kick this. Called it. I'm going to turtle here and just try to survive. How do they have 3 bases, guys? What's going on? So I don't ever really like doing double tap into aim shot because your aim shots do hit relatively weak in comparison. I'm going to drop a trap here for that warrior. He trinketed that right away. Maybe I can bursting shot him away. Is he prot? Ah, that's a bummer. That's okay. So we're also running that arcane flurry trait. So let's see how our damage spread is. So arcane shots are hitting decently hard. Rapid fire is doing a good amount of damage. I'm basically trying to use it off cooldown whenever I get the opportunity. Our aim shots definitely are hitting less, but I'm actually I'm okay with that if we have more consistent damage. I'm more inclined to want consistent damage where you're not really trying to set up and bank on these, big setups to be able to get your burst off. Is definitely on the more frustrating side because when it doesn't happen, which is most of the time, right? If there's a rogue, if there's anyone with any kind of consistent CC, it just makes it impossible for you to pull all that off. So the fact that we're going to be banking on our true shot cooldown is going to be lower, and you have rapid fire, and if you're not running double tap, your rapid fire, rather than even being like a 20-second cooldown, might be like a 12-second or 10-second cooldown or something like that. That's a much more it's a much more like enjoyable play style to me. He's gonna probably pet stun me here. Yeah. I don't have turtle up or anything, so this is gonna be a little bit tougher. But we'll see what we can do. He's also got a restored healing. I'm pretty much screwed here. And a rogue on me. Good. Yeah, I don't have anything. I could have probably used my survival of the fittest there, but it's at that point I was in a bad spot. That wasn't gonna happen. But we can see our damage spread is pretty even there with aim shot and rapid fire. And again, playing into a build that kind of caters to rapid fire is definitely really beneficial in PvP, because you can basically, when you have situations where you can afford to sit there and cast, you can go ahead and be doing your aim shot setups. And if you have situations where you're on the run and you don't have the ability just to stand there, you have the alternative of being able to run and channel rapid fire and follow up. I'm gonna go ahead and disengage out of there. I'm not interested. So let's see, I think I can actually go ahead and go invis here. Yeah. There's no berserker buff up there. I do have this guy here who will help me, hopefully. This druid is right here. Let me see if I can I knock him really far away? Nice. Shoot. Oh, we're not going to be able to kill this guy, I don't think, either way. Let me go ahead and double tap. Oh, I didn't double tap? Shoot, that's not good. Let me go ahead and feign here. I do have bursting shot up in a sec. I could try and bursting shot. I'm going to go ahead and turtle after this stun. I could go ahead and bursting shot out of this warlock here and try and knock him. Let's see if we can get a knock on him here. Watch, we'll position ourselves. He's so not ready. We didn't we didn't knock him off, but we did do a lot of damage to him. Okay, I'm gonna set this druid as my focus. That way I can focus kick him. I'm gonna go ahead and scatter. You can see right there, I have it on my focus side. I shouldn't have steady shot there at all. I'm just so used to doing the steady aim build. I do have him set up to focus kick. We'll kill that warlock. Oh man, he's trying. Okay, I have a bursting shot for him if he tries to cast again. Nice. So again, and I've mentioned this in some previous videos, bursting shot is a huge value if you can get and really force yourself for a couple days of like, you know, any kind of PvP combat to like prioritize using it. Set it like as a big button on your screen to watch the cooldown on it and like be ready to be utilizing it, because not only is it really good, one, you can use it as like a distance creator, you know, between you and a melee, for example, with a slow built into it, which is obviously super valuable. But you can also use it a lot, which is dispositioning, that's not the right word, right? Messing up the positioning of casters or ranged classes. So it's definitely very valuable. Look, you can see there, I had the battlefield focus proc. I don't know if you guys just saw how gnarly that I just melted him. So, well, let me finish this thought and then I'll expand on that, because that's what I'm kind of anticipating on running is the rapid fire trait that increases your damage of your rapid fire, as well as one of the battlefield focus traits. And I think setting that up is going to be really fun, but I'll expand on that in a second. But is that you can use it as an interrupt, right? So it's a knockback. So if I don't have kick and I don't want to necessarily scatter or trap the target, because it's going to just cleanse them of all the dots, you know, that my teammates or whatever have on them, you can use bursting shot in those situations as another interrupt. Let me see here. Let's knock this pally off. Oh, dude, didn't even hit. He wasn't in range. That's dumb. It's okay. But so it's really cool if you can be prepared to do that and kind of set those types of plays and things up. It's a lot of fun to be able to do that and have those kind of outplays. Now we have a good amount of cleave coming out here. I have a double tap rapid fire with my full cleave there, so that was a good chunk of spread pressure that I just put out right there, which is what I'm really excited for, honestly, for this build, is for being able to set up those kind of plays, which I'm not very good at currently because I haven't been playing this setup. Let's see here. So we're going to go into multi-shot into another rapid fire. That's going to cleave into a multi-shot, into another aim shot, to a double multi-shot here, into an instant cast aim shot, into another multi-shot. Nice. So we were able to burn down that monk, but like we still had a ton of spread pressure there as well, right? So a multi-shot to prep that up so that it hits all those guys. And I'm actually going to double... Oops, I didn't mean to jump off there, but that's okay. It's still cleaving there. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and open up on this lock. I'm going to kick that. Nice. So we didn't top damage. We did get beat by an Affliction Warlock and a Balanced Druid. I'm totally cool with that. That's, I would say, is a pretty kind of normal standard thing. This BM Hunter did very good damage. Was very close to us as well. I was curious to see how much of his damage. Wow, Frost-Laced Ammunition is 10%? So this is what I was saying. I just said this. Let's see what Incendiary Ammo is, dude. What the hell? His Frost-Laced Ammunition literally did almost 3 times as much damage. Dude. All right, that's the next video coming out, is me testing these scopes, because that's nuts, man. I don't know why, because not only are you getting a slow from that, I don't know if he had 26 hits. I'm trying to see what, and had 13. It's literally just proccing twice as much, and the damage I know is actually pretty comparable. I think Incendiary Ammo got some kind of a stealth nerf, or some nerf that I didn't see. Oh, real quick, what I was going to say regarding the battlefield focus and the rapid fire. I did mention the rapid fire component of the trait. I think it's called rapid focus, that has an increased damage on your rapid fire. What ends up happening is when you get the battlefield focus debuff on the target, in PvP, it stacks up to 25 times. Your rapid fire, I'm almost positive, normal if you're running streamline, hits 23 times. If you have double tap, it's still, I think it hits, yeah, it doubles that. It hits like 50, 46, I think. I can't remember exactly this energy, but I remember, or maybe it's 13 and it's 26 times with, anyway. Long story short is that you can pretty consistently get up to about 25 hits really close, because I remember that 23 number very specifically. That's not affected by haste or anything either. Like if you have more haste, it's not like you got to get 25 in the channel or whatever. You still get the 23. So what ends up happening is, I believe it's 23 or 26 hits, and I believe it's 10 hits normal, then you have 30%, so that's 13, and then double tap is double that, so it's 26 hits. Anyway, long tangent there of the math, but point being is that you can consume virtually all of these stacks by yourself, right? Because you get 25 stacks. For ease of math, right, it's 984, but just say it's 1,000, so numbers are easier to understand. Basically, if you're able to consume all of those stacks, that's a bonus 25,000 damage each time that procs, assuming you can consume those stacks. So what that means is that you can basically think of it as adding that damage onto rapid fire, since you can basically consume all of those casts or all of those stacks during one channel. So then if you take synergy like that with things like, shoot, this is going to be hard for me to find now, is that steady focus trait. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Focus fire, that one. By an additional 4,000 damage, that's also affected by the 30% bonus of streamline and doubling that with double tap. So you can end up having these crazy hard hitting like 100 to 0 rapid fires. So my plan is to actually kind of test that out. I mean, I need to switch some Azurite traits around. As you can see, I don't have that one on this piece of gear. So I do want to play with that and kind of see how that goes. You know, and then when you have other traits, for example, like the Blightborn Infusion, like I said, where you're going to get these big crit stacks, or even something like, what's the other one that I have? That's the True Shot. This one. Unerring Vision, right? If you end up doing that, then you cast it with True Shot, right? So basically what you would be doing is you'd be playing and prepping. As soon as you get battlefield focus on you know, the debuff up on the target, you would pop True Shot, you would double tap, and then you would rapid fire. So you have this increased haste, you have the reset coming up quicker from your rapid fire based off 8.1 changes, and then you're just going to be doing an insane amount of damage, right? So granted, the haste portion, at least as it reads now, is not going to affect rapid fire in 8.1, but a trait like this is going to let you recharge that rapid fire quicker, so you want to use it before you cast rapid fire, and then you're going to get this bonus crit, which I had mentioned before was like 40% crit, I think, if this is stacked up to 10 times. So it just going through that math in my head, I feel like that there's going to be setups like that where you're trying to do that every 2 minutes or whatever is going to be really fun. So anyways, sorry for that long-winded ending there in the little confusion on the math, but hopefully you guys can kind of see my excitement with some of these different setups that we're going to be running. I'm going to be trying out some of the different weapon attachments or ammunition types, whatever you want to call them, for hunters, and kind of see how those are performing in PvP. Maybe we have a new meta here that's not incendiary ammo. Fingers crossed, right? I'm always down for some options. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining.